So in the New York Times, John Tierney suggests that today's playgrounds may be too safe and that avoiding risk creates kids with anxious fears. For example, a child who's hurt in a fall before age 9 is less likely later to be scared of heights. The conclusion, exposure to risk cures phobias, while avoiding risk leads to pale neurotics scared of their own shadow. Like me, I rarely go outside, and when I do, it's usually in bubble wrap. But it's true, everything scary and fun when I was a kid is now gone. Firecrackers, wrist rockets, candy cigarettes, the torn Playboy hidden under a rock. That was my Saturday. Yep, if you were 18 and hadn't lost part of a finger to a bottle rocket, you weren't living. Now Cowboys and Indians is hurtful, a spitball is a lethal weapon, and a treehouse is a death trap. Is it no wonder more kids see shrinks these days when a slingshot would have done wonders? So I agree, in a pursuit of a risk-free world, kids are just indoor pets, electronically tethered, never out of reach. When I was young, I could disappear for days in the woods, and my parents never worried. Of course, they had left me there to begin with, but I always got home. Hey, Bob, are we too safety conscious?
Well, for you left out putting cherry bombs in the toilets.
Yes.
That was great. No, yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, if you want to get kids to take them up on a building and throw them off, I mean, maybe that'll keep them free of flying.
So you don't buy the theory?
No, I think it's ridiculous. But I will say this. I do think there actually be regulations. But a lot of these places I played, playgrounds, the ones I was allowed into, were terrible. I mean, they were rickety and people got hurt there a lot. So I'd like to see regulations on making sure the stuff stays up. But the idea that somehow this is causing everybody to be neurotic, if that was the case, well, except for Dana, this whole table went to bed playgrounds.
What do you think, Dana?
Dana didn't go to a playground?
No, Dana's got sane. I mean, I don't know.
Well, but I was, so I was a gymnast when I was little, and I was pretty good. And I would do these flips off of I remember this metal thin bar, and the ground was gravel. And I know that my mom used to sit there, and the first couple of times she was like, but then I did it and it was fine, and I might have scraped my hands a couple times, but it wasn't
up in the air, right?
Well, if I were to go look at it now, it might not seem that tall, but thinking back,
I was in love with Nadia Comaneci, by the way.
I know. How long were you a gymnast?
A long time.
Really?
Yeah.
Any pictures?
No.
Were you a gymnast?
God.
You were a jockey, right?
Pervert.
I'm not a pervert. I'm just a fan of the sport.
Hey, listen, I think we should probably move along here.
But can we just say parents have become wussified? We're afraid of everything. Greg,
well,
remember those things that used to go in a circle and used to go on and someone would run real fast and people would either fall off or
was that like a merry-go-round?
I think it's directly related to the problem now of people not being willing to take risk overall in general. And what I mentioned earlier, musical chairs. Did you know when I was living in the UK, there was a story about this school district had decided that no one could play musical chairs anymore because somebody had to lose.
Yeah, but there's a group. I was going to say there's a group called Outward Bound. Their whole thing is to deal with this. Okay, I had a house in Jackson, Wyoming, and I signed up for a 4-day Outward Bound, and I got out 6 hours. And I said, to hell with this. I mean, you had to go out there, and they put you up on these things, and you walked along the top.
And you can't drink for like 12 hours.
Exactly
you're
right. Well, that was the problem. I never made the balance bar.
I want to move on to another story, but Andrew, do you have any stitches or scars?
I never was allowed to go to a playground just because I was always working in the restaurants. My parents had restaurants. So you want to talk tough?
And she walked uphill both ways.
Dip your hands in the boiling water, dishwash, clean the tables, no excuses. These kids today, though, they don't want to get their hands dirty.
Did any customer ever put a cherry bomb in the toilet?
Leave the gun, bring the Slovaki.
Speaking of gun.
Never put a cherry bomb in the toilet. They put other things in the toilet. But thankfully, that's one job I did not have.
Let's skip over that. I want to talk about the bullet tax. A candidate for mayor of Baltimore is introduced. His name is Otis Raleigh, I think, wants to put a bullet tax, $1 per bullet. If you buy a bullet, you have to pay $1 tax. Says it's going to reduce violence. You don't think it's?
I just think, who in Baltimore is buying a bullet legally? I mean, have you been there?
Yeah.
No, I try to stay away.
No, I just think
I've seen The Wire. That's enough for me.
But it's a nuisance tax. It's just another nuisance tax, like taxing a cat or taxing a bullet.
I thought we resolved this yesterday. The NRA was going to give everybody chihuahuas. That was going to save them. I think the idea of a bullet tax is great. I think because the more of the bullet tax, that means less bullets around because people won't pay for it.
Oh, right. Okay.
Up to me, I'd make it $10 a bullet.
I think there should be bullet subsidies. This is the only subsidy I'm for. It's bullet subsidies.
Why?
Sure. Because I'm for the Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms.
I just think it's interesting.
You want a bazooka too?
A bullet
also,
subsidy. I didn't say
You always bring up bazookas. Whenever we talk about guns, you bring up bazookas. It's like you think everybody in the NRA has a bazooka in their
No, but I think a lot of them would like them. And never mind.
The candidate also promises more efficient policing in Baltimore. I mean, honestly, I'm going to go there tomorrow night.
Baltimore has a lot of big crime problems.
What about this?
Let's not pass this over. Baltimore has one of the highest murder rates in the country.
And you really think a bullet tax is going to bring down the violence?
I know what you're all saying. You know where they get most of the guns in Baltimore?
Right.
From Virginia, from gun shows. That's where they get it from.
If they legalize drugs, the violence would go down.
By the way, it has to be a national.
It has
to be a national bullet tax, otherwise it won't work. You can just, from Baltimore, you can step outside of Baltimore.
In England, you can't have a hand. You got to go take it to a range and shoot.
Yeah, they also have higher rates of violence in England.
Where?
In England,
how many people get killed by bullets?
They've got a lot of knife crime. A lot of knife crime. I'd rather have a gun.
You know, a lot's happened since Jack the Ripper. You should probably get up to speed.
A lot of knife.
I think there should be a bullet rebate where a bullet will cost $1,000, but if the person you shoot is a criminal, you get the $1,000 back.
The whole idea that you actually have bullets in your gun is what scares me. What? I mean, you with a gun, it's just the most frightening thought I can.
I actually got rid of my gun for that reason. I didn't trust myself. I am such a klutz.
And the next thing you have to put down is your BlackBerry so that you don't tweet when you're drunk.
There you go.
All right. Teasing? Oh, Greg, you're teased.
Thank you, Bob.
Sorry.
Always there to help out.
Thank you.
All right, we'll have more right after this break. Don't forget to email us at the5@foxnews.com.